Welcome back to another episode of KimBits. I'm your host, Kim Sutton. And well, happy Monday, first off. I am thrilled that it's Monday. All my kids are out of the house and back at school, and it's quiet here. However, I'm facing a challenge, and you may have faced this before yourself, or, and you may have faced it on different levels, like I'm going to be talking about today. And what I'm going to be talking about today is improving your life's frames per second. I know you might be thinking, what the heck are you talking about? Frames per second? Yeah, just bear with me for a minute and I'll explain. So if you didn't already know, it surprises many people that although my podcast is positive productivity and although I'm all about maximizing efficiency and productivity in our personal life and in our small businesses, I am also a gamer. There's a previous episode of KimBits where I talk about my alter ego and about my favorite game of the moment. So go back and watch that one. But I love to play video games with my children, with my husband. And there's nothing that frustrates me more than having a low frames per second. Now, what I'm talking about, and I did a little bit of research so I could give you a comparison, is that when your eye, okay, can register 10 to 12 images per second. So when you're looking around, and just think about this, pardon the dog in the background, a second is 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. Now think about all the different uh, movements that you saw during that 1 second. So 1 Mississippi. My hand went across the screen, but imagine if you only saw it here and then you saw it here, right? It was off the screen. You would be missing that whole middle point. Or you're driving down the road and all you see is 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. A lot can happen in that short period of time, and that's frames per second. So the human eye can process 10 to 12 frames per second. I am no biology major. Biology was by far one of my hardest subjects in high school. Never even attempted it in college, but the human eye can process 10 to 12 images per second, and the human brain, okay, perceives reality at 24 to 48 frames per second. That's a lot of data that's going in and out, okay, that we perceive. If you didn't know, most modern movies and TV shows are 24 frames per second, and video games and sports, if you like to watch sports on TV, those are anywhere between 30 and 120 frames per second. So, my son's a he plays soccer. There's a lot that can happen between 1 Mississippi and 2 Mississippi. I mean, the ball could get kicked, hit another kid off the head. That happens all the time, by the way, and then bounce back up the field all in a matter of a second. But if you blink, if you have your eyes closed for a whole entire second, there's a lot that can be missed. So anyway, this weekend, uh, I was taking a little bit of time away from work. I wanted to play Ark with my family, and I was having an issue with my computer charger. And there's a point to all this, so just bear with me. This is not a whole Kimbit about gaming. My computer charger for my gaming laptop would not connect well. And every time the power source was cut off, my frames per second dropped from about 70 frames per second, okay, down to 2 or 3. This is so frustrating. But when I was thinking about it this morning and thinking about the topic that I wanted to discuss today, I was thinking back to 2015 to 2017 in my business when I was working 20 to 22 hours a day. That's right, 2 hours of sleep a day. My frames per second were probably about 2 to 3 frames per second at that point as well. I was having to redo work constantly. It was taking so much longer to process what I needed to do. And a simple, well, not simple, but a 2-hour task was taking me 8 hours because I was sleeping 2 hours instead of 8 hours. I want you to think about how you are affecting your connection and like your bodily connection, how you're impacting your power supply. What types of food are you eating? Personally, I love, and I know I need to fix it. I love junk food. I had Wendy's this weekend. I had Chipotle this weekend. I know I'm not eating the healthiest stuff. And I know I need to do better. I've been drinking water. I had my first soda this weekend that I've had in 9 months because I cut that out. But what we ingest impacts our frames per second. How many hours are you sleeping every night? Are you working yourself to the bone and then waking up exhausted again after only 3 to 4 hours? If so, you need to cut that out. You can be so much more productive tomorrow when you've gotten a good night's sleep tonight. Your frames per second and your ability to perceive and reflect on and interpret everything that's going on around you can become magnified when your connections to life and to energy, and I'm not talking woo woo here, I'm simply talking about taking care of yourself and proper self care. When those are optimized, then you can see so much more. You can do so much more. You can think so much better. So, what are your frames per second? What are your lives? What is your lives? Call the grammar police. I'm off today. What is your life's frames per second? Do you feel sluggish? I mean, right now it's 1:45 my time. That dog is crazy. It's 1:45 my time Eastern on Monday. But I know that when I was eating my worst by 2 or 3 o'clock every afternoon, I needed a nap. And that would be waking up at 8 o'clock in the morning. Look at what you're intaking into your body and you're what you're able to produce. And if your frames per second aren't high enough, then you need to see what you can do to change it. Trust me, when I started changing just little things, like I started with sleep back in July of 2016, I started working on my sleep because my anxiety was through the roof. My depression was through the roof. All I wanted to do was hide in my covers all day, but I couldn't because I'm the primary breadwinner of the house. But when I started working on my sleep and taking care of myself that way, instantly I started to feel better. Instantly my productivity started increasing, but it took more than just that. I needed to reclaim my nights and weekends. Excuse me. I needed to reclaim me time. I needed to start saying no. I needed boundaries. Even when I'm recording videos like this, I need to set up my out of office or my do not disturb on my phone, or else clients may be calling and interrupting me. But we need that uninterrupted focus time during the day so that our output can be maximized, our stress can be minimized, and we can be as productive as possible. I would love to hear how you would rate your current frames per second. Between 1 and 12, leave a comment down below. Let me know where you currently stand. And if it's not at a 10 to 12, I want to know the one action that you're going to start doing this week to increase this. I would love to hear your thoughts on the video as well. Make sure to leave a comment. Even if you don't leave your FPS, hit like on this video and subscribe to the channel so that you find out the next time I'm live. With all this said, go forth and make it a positive and a productive day.